Here's the thing about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is when you're in a situation where you want to be successful and no one around you is underestimating you. You are underestimating your capability. But there are situations in your life where you have the capability to learn. You have the capability to step out of the tiny little box you've put yourself in. But even though people around you are giving you more or telling you, go for that job, like apply to the better school, like start that business, I see something bigger for you, you keep yourself small. And that happened to me at the very beginning of my speaking career. When I first started getting paid to give speeches about the 5-second rule, we're talking 2013, 2014 here, my husband and I were in so much debt that I didn't feel worthy of getting paid a lot of money. And the other thing that was really working against me and that kept me feeling really small is that I just felt like if I asked for more money, people would not hire me. And so I had to keep my fee small because that way more people would book me. And then all of a sudden this thing happened. I gave a speech in Vegas at a big event for event planners, and somebody saw me speak and they were wowed, thank God. And they decided, okay, I'm going to take a shot and I'm going to book this woman for an event that I am organizing and creating for a massive publicly traded bank. I'm talking like a Fortune 50 bank. The CEO and the chief HR officer were doing an executive retreat. It was in Philadelphia. I will never forget this. And it was one of the first of the speeches that I gave where I was consistently getting paid. And I did not charge a lot of money because I was scared to charge a lot of money. I didn't think I was worth it. I was afraid people wouldn't book me. Who's gonna pay a woman like that X amount of dollars? I mean, she doesn't have a book. She's not a celebrity. She's not some fancy pants person. How is she worth that? And so I kept myself small, despite the fact that friends of mine in the business told me, you got to charge more, dude. Like you're way underpriced. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't think anybody will hire me for that. So long and the short of it, this person books me because they see me at a different event. They bring me in to an event in Philadelphia full of 100 executives, right, for this big bank. And speaking that day were a number of people that I so admired. I'm talking New York Times best-selling, TED Talk this, like the intellectual giants. Dan Pink was there. There were some other people there. I was so enamored with these people that I flew in early and I sat in the back of the room like a church mouse, absorbing everything from these amazing, famous intellectual authors and these super smart people, which was a terrible idea, by the way, because all it did was make me feel smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And then I got up, I was the closer, and I did my thing. And I told the story of the 5-second rule. And I thought, this is going to be the last speech I ever give because this is terrible compared to all this intellectual stuff that all these other people are talking about. I'm just talking about normal people changing their life, doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it brought the house down. And then something extraordinarily triggering happened. The head of HR walked up and she said to me, I feel an obligation to tell you something that is going to be very painful to hear because I think it's important as a woman that I support another woman in knowing the truth. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what the hell have I done? And she said, you were 10 times better than any of the speakers that we hired for this 3-day summit. 10 times better, hands down. And we paid each and every speaker 5 times the amount we paid you. In fact, your price was so low that we didn't believe that you were as good as people said you were. And when she gave me that feedback, first of all, I'm glad she didn't say what I thought she was going to say, which was that was terrible and we're really disappointed and we need our money back. But when she said that, it just like, hit me in the heart. When somebody tells you that you're playing small, and when they have the just generosity to also tell you the painful thing you're missing out on because you're keeping yourself small. And the truth is, as painful as it was to hear that, I got lucky that day because it could have been just as easy for her to think that and not say it. And I'm telling you this story because I think it's important in any area of your life where you're playing small. You're keeping yourself in a box. Maybe you're not posting your music online. Maybe you're not starting that YouTube channel. Maybe you're not writing that book. Maybe you're not writing that business plan. Maybe you're not charging what you need to charge. Maybe you're not firing that pain in the ass client that's taken up all your time and that nickel and dimes you on the bill. Wherever it is that you're playing small, you're ignoring the people in your life that are like, you deserve so much better than this. You need to apply for that huge job that's out of reach. You need to apply to that dream school. You do need to take the risk and move across country or backpack around the world. Wherever you are playing small, you need to listen to the people that see something bigger for you because you see it too. You're just scared. And if you see somebody in your life, be the chief HR officer for them. Tell them what they're missing out on by keeping themselves jammed in the small box. Is it going to be an easy conversation? No. Is it going to be a conversation that teaches someone you love something they need to hear? Absolutely. Which is one of the most loving things that you can do. Stop withholding this stuff from people and hit them straight between the eyes with it, because this is the kind of truth that we all need. And that's why triggers in your life are so important. And there's 3 in particular that I hope you will pay attention to. Number 1, when someone you don't like, someone irritating, is getting what you want. Ooh, hate that. But I hope now you love it, because that's who it had to be. It had to be them. Because you need your anger to get through your BS and get to work. Or when someone calls you out on your BS, you're not supposed to spend your life faking and lying and not saying stuff. You're supposed to have the courage and the conviction to tell the truth. And the easiest way to get help is to ask for it. The easiest way to figure out and to learn something is to start by admitting, I don't know how to do this. And then you'll be surprised how quickly you can learn how to do it. And finally, someone who has the respect for you, somebody that you respect, pointing out that you're playing small, and what you're missing out on, or the fact that they gave something to somebody else because you didn't step up. Oh my God, those moments suck, don't they? But they're also critical in your life. And so what do you do with this? Well, number 1, just recognize it. Recognizing it. Simply recognizing it. I hope this episode, by the way, was very triggering. That was my mission. My mission today is to trigger you, to make you annoyed, whether it's at me or somebody else, so that you start to go, yeah, I'm kind of mad. I'm mad. I'm mad that I'm not doing the thing that I need to be doing. I'm mad at myself for sitting around. I'm mad at myself for being scared about what everybody's going to think instead of doing the thing I need to do. I'm scared. I'm mad that I've gotten myself in over my head and I'm hiding instead of standing up and fixing this. Or I'm mad that I am holding myself back, that I know I am meant to play a bigger game, but I refuse to get out of this box and actually take the damn risk to do it. And so now I want to connect these 3 types of triggers with the advice that you need. Because when someone that you don't like is getting what you want, and you're not dealing with the 10% of the situation where it's the trust funders, or it's a situation of bias, or it's a situation of privilege, or it's a situation where they were just naturally born with a supermodel Brazilian bikini body. No, I'm talking about the 90%, where someone that, oh God, they're putting in the work and they're getting where you want to be, and it's irritating. Or someone calling you out on your BS. Yeah, you're going to feel embarrassed, but you haven't asked for help. Or you haven't been honest with the people around you. Or you haven't been proactive at actually up-leveling your own skills so that you can swim in the deep end. Or the third, where a person is pushing you to take a risk and man, you're like a mule. You have dug those hooves in. You are staying in that box. I want you to apply to the better school. Go for the bigger job. Do not keep yourself small. I want you to welcome these triggers because they are the greatest teachers ever. Feeling embarrassed, being over your head, getting angry. Because the thing about triggers, the more you avoid doing something that you know you need to be doing, the bigger the trigger is going to get. See, I find in my life, the more stubborn I get, life doesn't just disappear. Life shows up with a bigger sledgehammer. And so step one is just identify, oh, here I am, I'm triggered. Mel said this is good news. I recognize I got something I need to do. And here's step two. You want the formula? Play the 100-day rule. That's it. Play the 100-day rule. That's all you got to do. You want to grow your social media following? Post for 100 days. You want to write a killer song? Write song lyrics 100 days in a row. Write crappy songs, 100 songs, 100 days in a row. You want to publish a book? Every single day for 100 days, you better be writing. You want to get better at a three-point shot? 100 days, basketball court, 15 minutes, hitting the three-point shot. That's how you do it because that's where the work is done. And here's the other thing I want you to do. Anytime you feel angry, good. Anger gets a bad reputation, but getting really angry at yourself, it can be really important if you know what to do with it because your anger is trying to tell you something. So if you're sitting there and now you're like really annoyed, good. I'm your trigger because that's exactly what this episode has been designed to do. Wherever you are in a situation where you know what you should be doing and you're not doing it, stop looking at all the people ahead of you. They're not going to get you to do it. It's the one person that is near you that's annoying you. They have to be the one. Anger is the shot in the ass that you need. The trigger is just the universe shaking you. And the more you ignore it, the louder and more painful it's going to be. My mission today is to trigger you, to make you annoyed, whether it's at me or somebody else, so that you start to go, yeah, I'm kind of mad. I'm mad that I'm not doing the thing that I need to be doing. I'm mad at myself for sitting around. I'm mad at myself for being scared about what everybody's going to think instead of doing the thing I need to do. Or I'm mad that I am holding myself back.